Can you see us now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's start.
Okay, great.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfect. ¿Vale? ¿Quién se viene? Yo me pongo aquí, ¿no?
¿Tú sabes presentar? ¿Sabes cómo ponerlo para presentar?
Sí, está ahí.
Vente. El Geniali no es editar, es este. El Geniali no es este, ¿vale? Entonces tú tienes que darle, le das a compartir y le das. Date cuenta, hasta que tú no le des, tú no le
Hi, I'm Lina J. I'm 17. I'm from EuRoB+G here in Spain. And we're going to present our project for smart cities. We are from the first year of baccalaureate out of 2 here in Spain. These are our classmates. We're going to expose some of the ideas of ours. This is Christina, our teacher. Okay, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, hearing us. And I'm gonna pass on to José Antonio. He's gonna present.
¿Cómo no podemos compartir? Los organizadores y indicadores pueden compartir contenido. Tienen al lado.
Треба специальники одмивати.
tienes que dar.
Primero tendrías que los archivos.
La reunión de ambos no permitía, porque hemos hecho pruebas. La conexión que hemos hecho.
Pero vais a compartir vuestro ordenador, ¿no?
Para pasar explicárselo, decirle que no podemos compartir.
Sorry, we're trying to share our presentation on the Decálogue, but we cannot in this new room.
Okay, I'll tell Tommy. I will tell Tommy to do that.
Okay, because
Хіба? Мені самі c'è Tommy
¿no? Eso lo decía. Porque aprovechar un poco.
Камера за табло, да знам. Зато я на то
I told Tommy to give you the permission.
Okay.
Ok, to je
Adelantando algo.
Сам бетон скопати проти потрібно.
Хто не сам? Ти стала адреса своя, знаєш, ти на це
Hi.
Totalmente.
¿Se me ve bien?
Can you share?
While we share or not our presentation, Jose Antonio is going to tell you how we're going to do this part, although I think you know, okay? But we're just going to go over how we're going to present the Decálogo, okay?
Well, on the project, we have an index where you can see that we're going through 10 ideas about our project, and at each idea we're going to open a debate with you. That's about the point one. And the second point is conclusions, where we're going to talk again about all the ideas, but about what is important about each idea and some ways to improve that. And then the third point, we finish our project.
Tienes que autorizarlo. Ellos lo saben, ¿verdad? Sí, ya lo saben, ya ellos saben que tienen que autorizarlo, ¿verdad? Yo espero que sí que lo hagan. Es que en la otra reunión general sí podíamos, porque ya lo hemos probado, lo hemos hecho. Y se hace como mí, súper fácil.
Ellos tienen el enlace.
Pero es que ellos tienen el enlace de modificación. Pero ellos lo que no ven es cómo vamos pasando, porque lo voy pasando yo. Ya, pero no pasa por nada, les que nos deje que nos abran moderadores. ¿Ya? No.
Ay, sí, ya.
Ya sí, bien. Espera un momento, Itana. Yo creo que se ve perfectamente.
Can you see the presentation?
We can't see you now.
Yes.
Well, here you can see the index that I explained before.
We can see.
We will begin with the first point about renewable energy.
No se ve. ¿Y se está viendo?
Okay, we can.
No, they can see it now. Can you see it now?
Yes, we can see you. We can see your Decálogo.
Presentation?
Yes.
Okay.
Venga, entonces. Empezamos, ¿no?
As I said, my name is Jose Antonio, but you can call me Jose. I'm going to start the project with the first point, all about renewable energy. Nowadays, we all are informed about the damage of the contamination and loss of limited and outdated sources of energy. We will always need a source of energy because we use electricity, for example, for everything. Furthermore, I wanted to talk in detail about the dangerous contamination produced by the vehicles and how we could make some changes to find good and possible use of the renewable energy sources that we have, as well as we can find a way to reduce or even eliminate the contamination produced by the vehicles. And to open a debate, I think about some questions like what's the problem in our areas to still be producing important and dangerous contamination to our world? Is there a good public transport system? Can we avoid the need to purchase a personal vehicle using public transport? Do you think that there's some economic interest in use or not use renewable energy? What do you think about it, about that questions? What do you have to say?
Can we go question by question?
Okay. First, what's the problem in our areas to still be producing important and dangerous contamination to the world?
We didn't understand very well. Can you repeat it? Can you repeat it slowly, please?
What do you think that it's the problem to still produce contamination in our areas?
Contamination,
Как низко? We think it's very important to reduce contamination. We think it's very important to reduce the contamination. If that was the question.
Another question. Do you think that we can use only public transport, avoid personal vehicles, and only use the public transport?
Javni transport ne individualnih oseb. Da pri nas javni transport ni tako zelo.
Zdaj, ko se počasi uvaja,
Slišam angleščino. Pridite vsi bližje, pa dajte razlagati. Okay. Ja, povej. Okay, here is our answer.
Yes.
Well, with public transport, we would be reducing contamination more, and now public transport is becoming more and more electrical, and with that, contamination would reduce, yes.
Okay, that's it.
Bueno, continuamos.
We're going to go on to the second part of our decalogue, okay?
Okay.
¿Se ve? ¿Vosotros comprobéis si se ve o no?
Can you see our presentation?
No, not yet.
Tampoco.
Okay? Can you see it now?
No.
Tylko pokazał na samym MCU, na było.
Yes?
Marie Carmen.
Yes?
Our our students have your Decalogue on their phones, so you don't need to share the points because
Pero claro, siempre
they can.
no saben el orden. Cuando pasemos
Sí,
cuando
lo
pasemos
tiene porque
Ella la presentación la
en
tiene.
la presentación.
Y el
se han
decálogo.
hecho, tienen los-
Okay,
Continuamos.
so let's continue with point number 2.
So before I start, if I talk with this tone of voice, can you hear me well?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so hi everybody. My name is Aitana, and I'm going to talk about my proposal for sustainable tourism, which is the creation of an ecological hotel. It will be a building that presents sustainable characteristics that protect the environment, such as the recycling of sewage water and the increase of water return to local aquifers, spaces that count on more than 75% of natural life, the creation of green spaces, among others. And what kind of service does it provide? The main ones are an organic gastronomy. There will be both vegetarian and without gluten menus. All of them will be made either with self-made products, which means products that come from vegetable gardens, or from the purchase of greengrocers, bakery, involving local business. A biologic swimming pool, which pursues the goal of getting a good quality pool through biological processes. To avoid the use of chemicals, we will use aquatic plants, water courses, and biofiltration processes to clean the pool. Lastly, green water, for example, if you are using the treadmill, at the same time, you are generating renewable energy for the autumn. And now my question is, do you think that the construction of an ecological hotel will do more good than bad to the environment? Will it be useful, or are there any other alternatives?
Do you think that the construction of an ecological hall would do more good than bad to the environment?
So, надо таке розбиватися.
They cannot decide.
Mislim, dobro bi bilo, sam
It would do more good, but
odvisno, za kako bi to pol financirali.
it depends on the finances.
Da pol bi vzdrževal to, ne, pol tudi vprašanje, kako bi, mislim, no, se ideja je dobra, sam.
It is difficult to maintain that kind of hotel.
Vprašanje pol, kaj bo vlagatelji rekli, ne, ja, ne.
V angleščini govorite, vse znate.
Ja, future.
Would it be useful?
Ja, reči ja.
It would be useful. Are there any other alternatives?
Any other questions?
My question was,
Какие альтернативы дадены?
if there are any other alternatives.
We think we think it would depend too much on the finances.
¿Queréis intervenir? ¿Puedo intervenir? ¿Alguno?
Sorry, when you say that it depends on what? That's what I want to know. Finances.
It is more expensive. No?
Yes.
I think that the construction of this kind of hotel is more focused on, people that maybe have more money because of the service that it provides. But yeah, because the products, the things that you need to build the hotel are expensive. So if you want, the
the business wants to get benefits, they have to, it has to be expensive. It has to be expensive. So yeah, but at the same time, I think that it could be a good option for the environment. So I don't know. What do you think?
They would have investors.
Yeah.
But then the people that come in can anyone go in, or is it just for like
Dobro, ne bi bilo pred... Ne, da za... To dobro, ampak vzdrževanje je tak, bi bilo drago, oziroma tudi materiali in vse skupaj. We have the same opinion.
Okay, next.
Okay, I give.
Okay, so now I will talk about the preservation of natural spaces. So I don't know how it is in Slovenia, but in Spain, people tend to hunt animals in a, I think that is a very cruel way. So, in my opinion, there should be laws first about the hunting of animals in natural spaces, whether they are facing extinction or not. And in other words, it should be legal. And the use of vehicles that contaminate too much in natural spaces should be prohibited. Also, there could be activities that help the environment, such as the creation of a green festival where people meet to plant trees, clean the waste, among other actions while they are having fun. We could carry out a benefit party where there could be a lot of educational and entertaining activities. And with all the money that has been recollected, we could donate it to animal organization, for example. And my question is, do you think that the laws and the activities are a good idea, or can they get people upset?
Zimi obsad.
When I say people getting upset is because in Spain there is like kind of debate where people are against the idea of hunting, but there are others that don't like, how do I say this? People don't want others to prohibit them from hunting animals. So that's why I say, no, that's what I said, people getting upset. I don't know if I expressed myself well, sorry.
Če bi mogli biti zakoni, da se neha loviti živali, pa da bi uporabljali, da ne bi smeli uporabljati vozila po pač natural spaces, pa da bi mogli kjer bi pač planted trees, pa take fore, we could carry our benefit where Moje vprašanje je, do you think that the laws and the activities are a good idea, or can they get people upset? Pač po mojem dobra ideja, da...
Morate odgovoriti za
Ja,
kaj.
sej. Pač...
No, Petra.
We think it's a good idea so that certain species can survive and continue to live in their natural habitat. And I don't think that people would get upset. Maybe capitalists or people who work only for money and care only for money, but I don't think it would be.
We think many people would be ready to help. Is that good enough?
Do you think many people would be
Did you
ready
hear us?
to help?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So point number
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. You see? Can you see the slide?
We can see the slide, yes.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Chloe. I'm 16 years old, and today I'm going to talk about smart cities, but above all about sustainable urbanism. So, the properties of a smart city have to have the benefits and some information in Spain. Like, so, an intelligent and sustainable cities and innovative cities ICT to improve the quality of life efficiency of urban operation and services, while meeting the needs of present and future generations in the economic, social, environmental, and cultural aspects. Now, cities account for more than 70% of global carbon emissions and between 60% and 80% of energy consumption. Rapid urbanization has created new problems like social inequality, traffic congestion, water pollution, and health problems. So let's look at some properties. And first, control urban growth to establish a living space, take advantage of waste, optimize liquids, public transport, economic and social sustainability, securing jobs and creating new ones, stable and reliable telecommunication, infrastructure to support the large volume of ICT, widespread wireless connectivity, and open data. So the benefits, it's better way of life, more social interaction, less pollution, contact with nature, improve urban planning of cities, new business are created that adapt to the new needs of citizens and related to smart cities. And so in Spain, an eco neighborhood is an urban neighborhood designed to minimize its impact on the environment. So they also seek a change in mentality and behavior that is more responsible with the environment and its inhabitants. So in Spain, there have been proposals for eco neighborhoods and sustainable districts already built for some years, and which stands out the paradigm of new cities. Some is in Valencia, Navarra, Lugo, and Asturias. So I hope you like it, and thank you.
Pasamos siguiente.
Oh,
Claro, you a question?
yes, the question is, how could we improve sustainable urbanism in the world?
Nagradijo stavbe z zelenjem.
To build parks, like in the cities, and greenhouses, and buildings with lots of plants,
Zelene balkone, zelene strehe.
with green balconies and green rooftops.
Yeah, and with gardens on balconies and on rooftops.
Yeah.
What's the question? Did you understand what we said?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Ashe que that's it.
No, no se escribe en el currículum, pero eso lo pueden buscar ellos libremente. Sí. No pasa nada. Tiene un montón de información. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Number 5.
Yeah, we're gonna carry on with the presentation. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna talk about different ways to reduce CO2. Okay, hi everybody, I'm Seda, and we're going to talk about different ways to reduce CO2. And a main idea, how can we do it, students? Okay, as you can see,
No.
can you see the presentation?
No, we can't see it. But our students have your presentation on their phones, so you don't need to share it.
Okay.
Okay.
We're in slide 1.5.
El título está en español. Compromiso con la reducción de CO2.
It's in Spanish. It says CO2. 1.5.
Yes.
Okay, click on ways to reduce, please. And you're going to see 5 different points.
Yes, we can see the car.
Okay. Okay, thank you. So we're going to start with telecommunication and teleconference, which means that you don't really need to go to work or school. I mean, if you have to, you must go. But if you don't have to, you can make your work at home. You can stay at home and do your work, and you don't need to travel to go or get your car every day to go to work. Secondly, we have recycle and reuse. Basically, it means that you can reuse stuff that you don't need to, like you don't use anymore. ¿Qué más pone? Walk, cycle, or take public transport. I think it's very important, like classmates already said. The fourth one is eat less red meat. It's a proven fact that over 220 grams of carbon dioxide are produced for every gram of food produced, resulting is almost like a 4% of the total GHG emission. And eating vegetarian more often is or consuming less meat can lower the amount of carbon presented in the atmosphere. And last one is buy local produce, because buying different organic food from outside can lead to it uses fossil fuels for fuel and cooling it keeps food in transient food storage. And okay, now I have a main idea. Okay, here. Us as teenagers are the future, so therefore my main idea is to create a subject at school that can make us realize what we're doing to our planet and how can we make it better. the subject will consist of a connection between students and nature, where we'll be planting trees, collecting garbage, and workshops for the reuse of recycled materials. Okay, so therefore, what do you think of the main idea? Antonio?
Recycle or reuse.
Ah, cool. Cool, okay. Yeah, it is.
You think it's possible?
Do you think we can make it work? It's gonna work.
Support group.
Yeah.
In Slovenia, we have support groups about that.
Is it similar?
Can you repeat?
Is it similar to my main idea?
Yes, very similar.
Oh, that's really cool.
So they can share it with our school, no?
Yeah, you can share it with our school.
That's nice.
Okay.
Number 6.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Andreas, and I'm going to talk to you about the use of technologies in public service and space. Learn more about my work. My proposal is to make use of technologies in public service. As we know, in 21st century, we make great use of technologies, and we are very advanced for it. What do you want? What do you want to propose? Use of technology garbage, capable of storing plastic bottles and giving used pennies in exchange. These garbage are already beginning to be used, especially in Germany. To point, use of smart garbage capable of reducing the interior volume. In this way, the trash garbage doesn't have to wash every day. Let's start discussing to debate. What do you think about the use of those technologies? Would mobile work increase or increase with the use of
Outdoor technologies. Саме фулпач.
Ми тут тргачи. Smart bins. Ами.
Почне чеки класични.
Да, Светлана баш.
Ja, šestni plastenke, da bi dal elektron. Če tako sem videl, tako jaz sem videl.
Kako bi to elektronsko plastenko?
Špan, nismo da je bilo.
Yo creo que lo debaten un
Technological garbage. Storing plastic bottles and giving us pennies in exchange. Od kje?
To je da zbiranje vsega tega in da pač da se nekdo služi na ta način. Recikliranje. To je zbiranje, ločeno zbiranje.
Use of smart garbage capable of reducing the interior volume.
No, da je to nekaj povedal.
Ja, das ist 3. Let's go. What do you think about the use of outdoor technologies?
Okay, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Okay, we think that the outdoor technologies are really important because they can make recycling process and other ecological processes easier and more available to further nation. For example, we thought of smart trash bins that would recycle elements by itself, and we also had an idea of electric smart benches that you can sit on or maybe charge your phone and so on and so on. About the decreasing or increasing by the use of the machines, we think that if we use the right machines, the global warming would decrease, but if we use the wrong machines, it would increase.
That's it. That's a good point. Thank you.
Thank you. I just smart benches. Okay. I just benches. Point number 6.
Oh, 7.
Hello, Laura. I'm 16 and I'm going to talk about the holistic educational system. Dale la info. Bueno, ya, ahora. The holistic educational system wants to seek the integral development of the individual as a person, understanding them as part of their natural environment, which will be always in contact with nature. I want to develop an educational system that respects the learning needs of the students, with a reduction in the ratio and the provision of quality resources. Free activity, experimentation, emotional and sexual intelligence, awareness, and attention and concentration, respect for diversity and care for the environment are some of the things that students will be developing in the educational system that I'm proposing. Do you think our actual school system prepares us for the future? What would you like to change?
What would you like to change?
Question.
Yes. Our actual schools prepares us for the future. What would you like to change? И так у нас сколько за сложно разделом свет.
Ivan zagotovo koristio, ne?
Po mojem je to bolj pomembno, da pač šola nam da, šola nam dela skozi neko znanje, mi pa moramo od človeka je ful odvisno.
Problem je, da vas šola ne nauči implementirati to znanje.
Ja, mi se moramo to sami. Tako se v bistvu, sami sebe mi pripravljamo v bistvu na prihodnost, čeprav nam šola ne dela tako mogoče smeri, kako bi rekel, ne vem.
Ja, pristup povej.
Ne neposredno.
Ja.
Sami morate veliko delati.
Our thoughts about this are that school isn't necessarily preparing us for the future. It only gives us knowledge about subjects, and then we have to kind of prepare ourselves for the future, and school is just like a little bit helping us.
Okay, so should we go on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Kako bi to neki špansko?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can move on.
As I said before, I'm Victoria, I'm 17, I'm a pronunciation her, and I'd like to talk about how can we achieve better systems, because a better society with people who get well with others can can get a result as a result a better teamwork. So first of all, I'd like to talk the info. I have two suggestions. The first one is a workshop for Tell Us Your Story to find out different kinds of stories. In addition to becoming aware about topics such as bullying, LGBTQ+, racism, metabolism, among others, we will be working the empathy. And in addition of that, schools can make laws against bullying, against that type of problems. So don't keep quiet and speak up. And secondly, I like to talk that Pride today, because it's June and it's Pride Month. So if in your city there's no Pride Parade, maybe it's time to celebrate the first one, because this is the month to celebrate diversity, and it's time to show who are you. Thank you so much. And I'd like to talk about two questions. The first one is, what do you think that would happen in your city if the first Pride Parade is celebrated this year? Are you for or against it, and why?
Zakaj bi, ja, samo v Celju?
V Celju, v Ljubljani,
Ja, samo rekla sem New York City.
Pač ja, ne samo tu v Celju, mislim.
Samo zakaj bi mogel v vsakem mestu tako
reči? Pač
Pa ne, samo pač...
Ne, pa sej, ja, sej, če se znam, sam sej.
Zakaj bi mogel? Pač najbolje,
so sprejeti, pač tisti parada je pa tisti dodatni plus, sej.
Ni treba izpostavljati, ne, ker če hoče galerij, ni treba izpostavljati, ker pač so ne.
So we think that because our country is so small, we only have two Pride parades every year. So we already have that, and we don't think that we need one in Celje, because what matters is that they are accepted and not, oppressed. And we're not against it. And what can do? For the second question, we think that we should just talk to and have a conversation about this to make them feel safe.
That's all. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. So, number 9.
Hi. Can you hear me? Yeah? Yes. Hi, I'm Luna Jade, I'm 17, and I'm going to talk about complementary and alternative medicine. Wanted to ask you, what do you know about this subject, if you know anything about it?
Yes.
Okay.
Ja, to so one...
Kako govorila o kristalih?
Ne, to so te kamilice, pa temčarice. Daš na mes, pa rečeš čaj, pijte čaj.
Če govorijo...
Alternative medicine. To je vegan.
Zelišča, holistična medicina tudi.
We know what it is.
Yeah? That's good, because here in Spain it's not very known. So it's hard to define because it's a broad thing and it keeps going and evolving throughout the years. So to define it, it's basically different practices like they do Reiki, they do yoga, they do chiropractors. It's all very different, which conventional medicine doesn't want it to evolve that much. They don't want it known here. I don't know why, because it doesn't use drugs. It uses normal, natural products, herbs and stuff that are not toxic to your body. They're not bad. They're good. For example, I had a problem a few years ago with my back, and the conventional medicine, they wanted it a certain way, with drugs and stuff like that, and pills. And my mom had it also, so we found a way to go to chiropractic. So, and I asked the hospital, the conventional medicine, if they thought if this was okay, if they thought it was safe, if they liked it, if they wanted me to go to that instead of keep going on drugs, because I was 14 then. So for a 14-year-old girl to have drugs is not really good. And they said, no, it's horrible, it won't work, you'll go backwards instead of forward. And we did go, even if it was against medicine, medical advice. We did go. It worked. It worked so much more better. Lifestyle change completely, had nothing to do with the conventional medicine. And we went back and told them, and they still think it was wrong. They're still against it. So I don't know why they do this. I don't know why they're all so forward with a medicine that just prescribes drugs to kids. Or if you are 25 years old, you still shouldn't be inducing so many things into your body. So I wanted to include here at school, because we're stressed, we're all the time, we have nerves, we have exams, we have projects constantly going on and on. So I would like to have 5 to 15 minutes, not much, in the morning or after a certain amount of hours studying, or even before going home, just to breathe, just to relax with your class or alone. You can stay outside and just breathe